So we have had, this is will be our third conversation now. So we talked with Carol as well about like the process of going through traditional publishers, self-publishing, things like that.
Mhm.
Um, I love the fact that you just did it, right? You said, you know what, I'm going to work with what I have right now, and then I will grow and I will improve. Tell me a little bit about what that process is like to say, I'm going to go ahead and jump out there, because a lot of people don't want to jump out unless it's perfect,
Mhm.
right? So tell me what that's like, and what kind of what it takes to do something like that, and then to continue on to end up at a Simon and Schuster.
It's the understanding that you're taking the road not everybody else takes. And there's a certain amount of grace and patience you have to have with yourself. And then at the same time, you have to learn that it's like you have to be your own best critic, because you could put out a book and not put in the work, not do the editing, not having other people proofread before you get it out into the world, right? There's a whole process that needs to happen, and you have to be willing to educate yourself before you just throw something out there, because
Got
people
you.
can tell that it's not a good product just from the first page alone.
Mm.
I remember 2 years ago, I was at a SCBWI conference, right? And I remember taking the book, and they're doing like a seminar about self-publishers, like self-publishing, and I put my book out there. And at the time, they did not want to put that book out there. Not the whole SCBWI, but like that little offshoot of that particular seminar for that day didn't want to put it out there. And I remember a year later, the head of that seminar came back to me. He's like, yeah, it's like, I remember not taking the time out to look at your book then, but she wanted to take a look at the book right there. It's like in person. So she's
Mm.
flipping through it and she's like, oh my goodness. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, this looks really professional. It's like, what did you expect? It's like, I guess there was a very weird stigma that comes with self-publishing,
Yes.
right? But understand, if you're going to self-publish, there's a lot of hoops you're going to have to jump through. And there's a lot of learning that has to happen. And you have to take your blows. Like I first tried to shop around to different publishers, Simon & Schuster, the big five, Penguin, like all that different
Hmm.
stuff. And once again, everybody wants to see their version of it. In
Right.
terms of like, you put it out there, it's like, hey, this is too short. Next one, hey, this is too long, right? And it always comes down to, it's like, what do you actually want to do at this point? And sometimes you have to read in between the lines. Something I spoke about yesterday as well. It's like, is it really too short? Is it really too long? Or is it that you don't see this particular thing selling, so
Mm.
you don't want to take the risk of taking it on? Because big publishers, there's money that needs to be made to keep them
Right.
going. And it's something you
Absolutely.
have to understand as well. I have the privilege of having a job that can sustain me while I put this out on my own, because I felt this is a story that needed to be told,
Yes.
right? I wanted to give this to my nieces, my nephews, to kids in Trinidad and Tobago, to see their culture being represented in a new light.
Right. Right.